Hello, namaste everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be our discussion and the predictions for all the zodiac signs while Jupiter is moving back to the sign of Gemini within its retrogression phase. So Jupiter is retrograde currently, but now it is moving to Gemini. It is going to stay there retrograde from 5th of December till 11th of March 2026. And further, it will go direct into this zodiac sign of Gemini till 2nd of June 2026. After that, it will move finally into the sign of Cancer in its exaltation stage. So let's understand that what this Jupiter will do when it has finally come back into the zodiac sign of Gemini, and then when it will progress and go direct into the same zodiac sign. So these are going to be the predictions for 5th of December 2025 till 2nd of June 2026. Okay, so let's get started. But before that, if you guys are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and even you can hit the bell icon below so that you get regular updates. Also, if you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check the link in the description box, www.anmollastrology.com, and under the reading and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Also, you can sign up for the courses which are available. There are two courses, the foundational course and the Prashna course. And currently, for the month of December, if you do not know, I am launching one new course, which is the complete predictive technique or predictive course of astrology. So I'm taking the entries. You can enroll till 10th of December for attending this 30 days course through my, you can email me, or I have also, given the link for the form where you can fill in your details, and I'll reach out to you with the framework. If you have been registered on my website, you definitely would have received an email from my end giving you the framework details, the price details, the duration, and everything. So currently I'm hosting 3 batches, one in Hindi, one in English, and one which is weekend batches, which will be for Saturday and Sunday, and that is in English. So you can sign up, you can enroll till 10th of December. Just drop me an email on contact.asastrology@gmail.com so as to enroll yourself in the course. And further, this course will be available down the lane after 3 to 4 months over my website. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take one-on-one classes again for the same course. Rather, I might move ahead to another course for framing another course, right? So let's get started with Jupiter in the zodiac sign of Gemini, and first retrograde and then direct. So something that we should analyze first is, what is the meaning of Jupiter? What is the meaning of the zodiac sign of Gemini? And then what does retrogression of Jupiter do individually and then in the zodiac sign of Gemini? Jupiter is expansion. It's the most benefic planet because it's the guru. Jupiter is the one that gives us any suggestion. What kind of suggestions do we get? What kind of guidance do we get? What kind of people come ahead in front of us to help us? Or what is our belief system, our outlook towards how we help others, how helpful we are, how practical we are, what kind of wisdom do we have? Everything is Jupiter. Jupiter is not only the planet which gives you that expansion, that fortune, that, blessings, but it is also the planet which makes you teach, which makes you learn the lesson of life. Jupiter is a teacher, right? So a teacher, for the sake of its, his or her student, for the sake of what's best for you, Jupiter is going to give you lesson, whether you like it, whether you're not. It's not dependent like Saturn. It's not dependent on your karma. It has to give you lesson. It has to give that wisdom that is required for you. That is Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet which can give you utmost blessings. It's a planet. I think Jupiter is very, very important for an individual to be in a good position, because this Jupiter can either give you immense amount of responsibility, and this is the Jupiter which can or give you the highest, greatest blessing. Right? So Jupiter's condition in your chart is dependent, it basically tells how lucky you are as a person, what kind of comforts, it's not just Venus. Venus is the cream on the, suppose you are addicted to coffee just like I am, and you get a coffee. For you, coffee is that elixir, right? And that is Jupiter. But you get some cream on it, you get some that froth on it, which is cherry on top. That is Shukra, that is Venus, when we consider with the aspect of materialistic pursuits, materialistic aspects. Okay, so now the sign of Gemini. Gemini is the natural third house, the house of our skills, house of our thinking, the way we understand something, the way we analyze an information, process an information. And third house, most importantly, is about one's self-efforts, one's courage, and also one's assumptions. Whenever I want to see what kind of thinking a person holds, if I'm going to talk to an individual, what is the perception that they are going to have, I'm going to look at the 3rd, 9th, and 12th house, because these houses tell me how this process, how the information is being processed into the mind of this person. 3rd house is the current information that you get and how you process that current information, or a verbal communication that is happening in front of you. 9th house is your belief system. What do you believe in, and how do you take an action towards what you believe? I believe that there should be equality between men and women. So I take my action towards that belief. That is the 9th house. And the action that I take, that is the 10th house. What is the 12th house? 12th house is subconsciously, which I'm not telling you, but subconsciously, I have an agenda. I have a belief that I am talking to you. I know that you're not in my favor. You're not someone who is dear to me. So that is my thought process about you. I think that you are very selfish. So I have to be careful with you, but still I am communicating with you. That is my 12th house. So 12th house is the whole boundary you set yourself within. 3rd house is the assumption that you get in the present scenario, in the present communication, right? So that's how you can analyze what does a zodiac sign actually mean. Now, the sign of Gemini is also the sign of communication, multimedia, social media, any sort of information which has the ability to spread, or in fact, just an information, just knowledge. 3rd house is also the local government. 3rd house is also your siblings. It's the relation. Actually, my daughter is sleeping and she's coughing. Okay. Yeah. I think you guys might be able to hear her in the background. Okay. So, so 3rd house is your close friends, your close relationships, and it is also your surroundings. It's also when men and women, the symbol of two twins, it's actually the twins, and it is also a men and women who are coming together at a space, right? So now when Jupiter is in the zodiac sign of Gemini, it means this is a placement when communication plays a key role. When a person, through communication, they have to understand wisdom. Through small events in their life, they are bound to understand wisdom. They are bound to understand information, get knowledge through observance. Because Gemini is one of the most important sign when it is about observing. It has the strongest influence of Mercury and the strongest side of observance, giving attention to details. That is the zodiac sign of Gemini. Now, when Jupiter is going retrograde into the zodiac sign of Gemini, there are, few things I can pinpoint what could be the final result which we are going to encounter. Because so Jupiter is going retrograde in Gemini. It is coming back to Gemini because now it's the final karma which this Jupiter wants to play out. So it's like it's the last resort. You can take it as a last chance to improve something related to the zodiac sign of Gemini, wherever this Gemini is. You need to analyze. You need to analyze your communication. You need to analyze it in a way that it is the last chance. It's the last resort for you. But when Jupiter goes retrograde in the zodiac sign of Gemini, it means you need to understand wisdom through your communication. Maybe you have said something in the past. Maybe you have reacted something or in a certain way in the past. This is the time for you to recorrect that reaction, recorrect that information. The way we have dealt with in the relationships with our skills, with our knowledge, with our information, this is the time to now correct it and then move forward with blessings towards communication. So third house is skill. Jupiter coming into the zodiac sign of Gemini will bring about excellent skills. It will bring about you getting the knowledge of those skills. The reason this Jupiter moved ahead into the zodiac sign of Cancer was to actually make you analyze and make you go deeper into research regarding what you feel is is something that you love, is something that you should do. So it was more about research, refining your skills and everything, researching about it, researching and collecting the information. But now, since the retrogression is in Gemini, it is more about you collecting the pieces all together and joining them to improvise your skills. So people who have been basically questioning their stability, that are they doing something that they love? Now is the time for you to reassess that. You have collected that information, you have researched on it, you have understood now this is something I want to do. Now is the time to go take that forward. Now is the time to learn something associated with a set of skills that you have and then move forward it or put that into a profession and then get into that professional, setup. Also, people who have been struggling with their jobs, now things are going to come on a plane where you have to again deal with the struggle or instability within the job. You have to learn your wisdom through where you were lacking, where the efforts were not there. You have to go through that situation where your efforts, your courage is going to be the key factor that you're going to deal with, and then move forward to the settlement, either in the same job or if there's going to be a shift in the job. That is mostly dependent on how your personal placements are. But this Jupiter in sign of Gemini going retrograde is like, this is the time to reassess your assumptions, reassess your knowledge, your philosophies, the way you think, what do you think, how you take your steps ahead, how you make an effort, what kind of skills do you have. So people are going to feel, they are going to need that assurance of their skills. They are going to need assurance that what I'm doing, is it correct? What I'm doing, then you need to gather your confidence. All right. So your confidence is going to be needed here. So all the events that this Jupiter is going to create, it is going to create, because it wants you to reach a destiny. Jupiter eventually is a planet of luck, expansion. So it is going to give you that luck and expansion wherever the sign of Gemini is. But first, it wants you to learn the wisdom. It wants you to learn it in a certain way that next time when certain thing or similar pattern comes about, you know how to deal with it. Because see, this whole retrogression has been happening in Punarvasu Nakshatra, whether it is on the side of Cancer or it is on the side of Gemini. Punarvasu in itself is the theme of re-encounter or a repetitive theme. Right now, Jupiter coming in here and then being into the Punarvasu side of Gemini, it's up in the air, it's in your thoughts. When it came into the zodiac sign of Cancer, it was more about your inner self. It was more about your stability, more about doubts related to emotional intensity. But now the repetition is to understand how I am not going to repeat this mistake, how I got that wisdom that yes, this is a life lesson for me. I did this before. Now I'm going to move ahead with a better mind, with a better wisdom, with better decisions. So that's what this Jupiter wants you to analyze, wants you to understand, wants you to be perfect with it. See, Jupiter is naturally the ninth and the 12th lord also. It coming into the third house means how important your skills, your belief system, your knowledge, your subconscious mind, your imagination, how all of this is very important. And importantly, coming into the house of your skills, house of your hands, house of your, the way you believe in information, the way you communicate an information. So, career wise, we shall see people being very much involved into creative endeavors. And so many people we are going to see who are going to make others learn or give us information in regards of what is spirituality, what is spiritual progress. So, we will see a lesson learned on a mundane level regarding our spirituality, regarding our spiritual beliefs, regarding some higher learnings. So Jupiter is also going to expand the information. It is going to expand the media as well. At the same time, everyone, each and every one of us, especially if this Gemini belongs to the karma houses, as in it is in the third house, seventh house, or the 11th house, we need to be careful with our communication. We need to be careful with what information we are putting it out, because definitely you can go viral, you can have a good time with you passing the information, but at the same time you can even be criticized for that. Okay, so that's what this Jupiter going retrograde in the zodiac sign of Gemini would create. Now let's understand how it is going to affect each and every zodiac sign. Now let's start with, just a second. Let's start with Gemini itself. Okay. So for Gemini individuals, this Jupiter is going retrograde in the first house and it will go direct in the first house itself. So this basically means that your presence, your personality, and the wisdom that you get by interacting with others, that is going to refine during this retrogression. You may have some repetitive themes happening in your life that would actually make you feel that this is something repeating, in my life. This pattern is coming again. And how do I deal with this pattern? How do I settle this pattern? And how do I analyze that, yes, that's how I need to do things in life? So it's like a soul search, self search for an individual. Then Jupiter will move ahead in your ascendant, which would actually give you the ability to use that learned experience, that learned wisdom for benefit of yours. Because this Jupiter is the seventh house lord, it is also the 10th house lord. So this wisdom, this learning, this is coming by the way of relationships and in fact the career. And also it will help eventually for you to make changes within your relationships and within your career. This is basically coming with a perspective shift towards your own personality, which is going to be triggered because of career changes and because of your, relationship changes or relationship dynamics. But this Jupiter can actually keep you a lot in overthinking about certain matters, about certain things. But the lesson is that you need to communicate, you need to express yourself in the right way. One more thing I would say with the Jupiter retrograde in the zodiac sign of Gemini, a person would also get a karma associated with being clumsy, right? Because Gemini is one of the zodiac signs which is highly clumsy. It's about some sort of carelessness, because this is a zodiac sign which is very, very observant. But at the same time, when you observe so much, when you are so much into the details, you definitely miss out on something. That's what this Jupiter basically will create, that you need to now, press yourself or just force yourself into this, that I need to be more careful. I need to be more careful. So that's why your overthinking should also be in a boundary. It also needs to have a full stop. All right. Now, next we have the zodiac sign of Cancer. For Cancer individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the 12th house, and then it'll go forward, go direct in the 12th house itself. This Jupiter in the 12th house can delay, your travel or travel process. But where it's the karma that you understand that how you need to be extremely careful with your travel plans, and how you need to, be careful with your documentations and with your own planning system. So this Jupiter is going to make you learn how to plan properly for any travels, right? For that instance, you may experience some back and forth or repetitive theme in regards of your plan, travel or the bookings for your travel. So this Jupiter going into the 12th house, on the other end, it's about reconsidering your spirituality, reconsidering and analyzing your own thoughts that cross your mind, right? And this is also very technical in nature. This Jupiter being retrograde in Punarvasu, you might have to redo, suppose you are an IT engineer, you have to redo a software, you will be asked to redo something in regards of your imagination, regards of a creative pursuit. At the same time, this Jupiter is the lord of the 6th and the 9th. Definitely repetitive theme associated with your travel. If you were not able to travel, you will now be completing the process of the travel, but it can take a couple of months, especially till Jupiter is retrograde in the 12th house. It would require you to go through the process again, and then finally when it turns direct, March onwards, or somewhere near month of March, you will be able to finally travel. So that is something, whenever Jupiter goes retrograde in the 12th house, there's some strong karma associated with either travel, or there's a strong karma associated with a person's expenses also, and their understanding of spirituality. So that's the whole concept you're going to deal with. I think the dynamics with the family has also been quite struggling. And okay, so lights went out. I don't know where I was, but I'll just uh, start with what I have in my mind. Okay, so Jupiter being the 6th and the 9th lord going into the 12th, and that too retrograde, talks about a person's spiritual journey. And also that, some back and forth or repetitive theme with obstacles with some arguments, some conflicts that they have had in the past, some reassociation with debts that were there in the past, and to repay them now, and also with repetitive theme with travel. So that's what we see with Jupiter in the 12th house. Now, next we have the zodiac sign of Leo. So for Leo individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the 11th house. Jupiter is the lord of your 5th and the 8th house, that too going into the 11th house. So, first of all, this shows a repetitive theme to be happening in regards of your creative appreciation. Like, for example, you did something creative, you were not, you were not appreciated for that, but now you are going to, you just, got your strength, did all the research, made it again. Now, again, you are out there trying to represent yourself and gain that recognition. This Jupiter will give you wisdom through your social relations, by how to communicate within your society, within your social circle, who is your well-wisher, who is not. Jupiter going retrograde in the 11th is like there's a refining happening in regards of whom you should keep as your friend and whom you shouldn't. Right? This Jupiter being the 5th lord and the 8th lord can also bring about a re-encounter with the love matters or a relationship or even with a friend. But this Jupiter wants you to learn how to connect with others, how to, um, you know, how to deal with your own reactions. This might bring about a lost opportunity as well in terms of career and in terms of your personal life as well. So this Jupiter is definitely give you the last chance to just fulfill your desires. It's like this is the time to fulfill, travel, do what you want, do what you desire. Okay? Now, next we have the zodiac sign of Virgo. For Virgo individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the 10th house. This is the time you reanalyze your choices in career, your dealings with authorities, and even your dealing and communication with your authorities, with others within your career. This is the time when you would, you will have to make some solid choices and solid commitments towards your career. This Jupiter is the lord of your 4th and your 10th house. This will also make you either go into a partnership with your partner, or to just, analyze or just to experience a repetitive theme with your partner. This might even bring in some changes that you have to make in regards of your home or your physical location. Either this can make you shift. For some people, it is just merely travel. Okay. But this Jupiter in the 10th house wants you to mend your actions, reanalyze your actions, and go about it again, about the choices of your career again. Right? And it also shows that again, you have to keep your foot tight as a part of your authority somewhere, either in your personal life or in your career. Right? So, whatever you have learned with the past, repetitive themes and back and forth and confusions within your career, with your choices, now is the time to set a tight foot there and to set a command that, yes, this is what I desire, this is what I need, and I'm going to leave rest. All right, now it's the next is Libra. For Libra individuals, Jupiter is transiting the 9th house. 9th house Jupiter retrograde is the strongest, gives you the strongest karma with your luck, strongest karma with your teachings and your wisdom. If you think that Jupiter traveling to the 9th house is good, or it's a period very smooth, it's definitely not. It's good in terms of getting blessings, blessed by the super divine, the universe, but at a cost. At a cost of understanding the higher knowledge, at a cost of analyzing your belief system. It's a although it's a life changing process which happens with Jupiter in the ninth house. But I think when Jupiter was first here, this would have happened. Now it's the time to regain your throne, regain your luck, your good, the blessings of your good deeds. This Jupiter is the lord of your third and your sixth house. That means some of your conflicts, either it's with your siblings or with your neighbors or with, in the people in your surroundings. It's the time to resolve that by understanding how the communication must be done. It's about negotiating now. It's about letting things fall in place for you. Let you feel that, yes, now luck is coming back on my side. That's what this Jupiter wants to do. Also, this Jupiter might, you might have had an idea of going and, making maybe going for a diploma, maybe going for education, for a knowledge based training program, but it might not have happened, or it did happen, but you have to redo it again. So ninth house Jupiter retrograde, it's like relearning certain patterns, relearning or getting that knowledge again, that higher knowledge, that wisdom or of how to live your life, how to survive also. Okay, so that's what we see with Jupiter for Libra. Now, for Scorpio individuals, for Scorpions, Jupiter is going retrograde in the eighth house. Whenever planets like Jupiter or Saturn goes retrograde in the eighth house, whenever I see that, I even see that in Prashna, I always say there's a drastic change a person is going to experience, because when Jupiter or Saturn go retrograde in the moksha houses, or especially in the eighth house, it wants you to reanalyze your structure of life. It wants to reanalyze your position in life. Eighth house is about relocation. That's the strongest house, which is going to show the relocation along with the fourth house. So all the moksha houses, but eighth house means that the dynamics, the surroundings are going to change for you. So Jupiter going retrograde here, first, for people who are married or who are in a relationship, you might experience some repetitive theme with your in-laws, some communication to finally negotiate with certain matters. So there is something either associated with your inheritance or associated with the communication about the inheritance. It could be inheritance, it could be the recommunicating with your in-laws for certain matters that has happened in the past. Now it needs correction, now it needs your attention and needs to be dealt with. So all of this is what is required with this Jupiter. This Jupiter will also give you re-opportunity of making good investments, or either gaining from investments or putting your money again into investments, and that to a long-term one. But this Jupiter will give you the opportunity to have good money, because this is aspecting the second house. It is bringing about that blessing towards the second house. So first, that repetitive theme will happen with the eighth house, and then it'll give you the blessings with finances and money. All right. Now, this Jupiter in the eighth house will also make you very much associated and very much deeply research oriented towards astrology, towards things of communication, IT sector, or AI, artificial intelligence, or making PPTs, or anything that you can do with your creativity, with your communication devices, and even with the internet. Now, next we have the sign of Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, just 1 second. Okay, so this Jupiter is the lord of the second and the fifth, coming into the eighth, right? So definitely about the finances, but also one more thing. This can make you deal with the trauma of a past relationship again. Okay, so see, I came back and tell you about this. So this might have a Very, very strong implication here. Or the fifth lord coming into the eighth house going retrograde means that you have to rethink about some investment that you have made in the past. Now, finally, the Sagittarius. For Sagittarius individuals, Jupiter is in the seventh house. You are bound to get your lessons, your wisdom, your teachings from the encounter with other people. This Jupiter can give you opportunity of gaining, of fulfilling your desires. It can even give you the promise of fame and of good communication, good interactions with other. But at the same time, there is some karma pending. There is some repetitive theme that has to happen within the marriage or with your encounters with others. So that is going to, which is going to teach you, which is going to give you a lesson, which is going to give you certain wisdom. But whenever there is Jupiter's aspect on the ascendant, it's always considered as lucky. So the luck will definitely be on your side, but you have to reanalyze how you are communicating, how you are putting your efforts towards a relationship, towards your marriage. And only then Jupiter will give you lots and lots of blessings. This Jupiter is the lord of the first house and the fourth house. That means you need to pamper your partner. You need to nourish your partner. You need to provide them with utmost, comforts. And some similar theme that has happened in the past might resurface again in regards of relationships or in regards of your encounter with others. But you will be able to get your comforts from the others. You will be able to create comforts, create your identity through business, through partnerships. So it is giving you a opportunity of healing your relationship, forgetting your wisdom, of survival, of how to be in this dunyadari, in this world, and also opportunities of partnership, of business. All right, next we have the sign of Capricorn. For Capricorn individuals, Jupiter coming into the sixth house is like you are going to settle your past disputes. You're going to settle your communication with your enemies and your competitors. It's like that you need to reanalyze your control and authority within your workspace. That was it fair? Was I fair? And if I was not, I have to mend my ways within my workspace. It will make you go through a re-encounter in matters of your health. You will have to look at your health again. You have to take care of your health again. There's some problem with your health which might arise again, and you have to, for that, you have to basically improvise your daily routine life. You have to improvise your nutrition. And this is a time where very, very strongly your communication plays a very important role. Either communication is going to be part of your work, and you have to make something out of communication, technology, or technical languages, or it is about that communication is going to have a vital role within your life stability, your conflicts, your debts, right? Maybe you had to ask for money back from someone, but you did not. Now it will give you a opportunity to ask for that money back. I'm giving an example. This could happen because it's the sixth house, it's the zodiac sign of communication, and then it's Jupiter. It also means that you might have to help a relative again, like you did in the past. Okay, but Jupiter coming retrograde in the sixth house is that you need to reanalyze, restructure your debts, your routine life, and your health. Next, we have the zodiac sign of Aquarius. For Aquarius individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the fifth house. Whenever Jupiter goes retrograde in the fifth house, it's like you are reanalyzing your own reactions, your own decisions, with especially creativity, investments, and your love matters. This Jupiter is the lord of the 11th house and the second house. This can actually give you a birth of a child. So, yeah, maybe the birth is happening, or it might just call for conception. But definitely 100% for those of you who are not married, you will be able to get married. If you are not, you know, if you are married and you are expecting, you are trying to have a child, you definitely will be able to have a child. If you are expecting, your child can be born, or if you had a distance with your children, you can reunite to them as well, right? So that's what this Jupiter shows. But this Jupiter in the fifth house is like this Jupiter taught you a great, the greatest lesson with your reactions, with the way you have invested your money. It might give you the re-opportunity of investments. It might give you the re-opportunity to now mend your reactions and come in for settlement with others, especially within your social circle. Okay, so actually, for Aquariuses, it seems to be a very strong time, very good time, since Saturn is also now progressive and direct in your second house. It's a very good time for your finances, your investments, but just it's a little time left, just a matter of 4 months left of the retrogression of the lessons. But it wherever it is moving forward, it's moving forward for the perfect goal, for the right goal. Okay, now next we have the zodiac sign of Pisces. For Pisces individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the fourth house. Something related to your home, your office, your personal space needs your attention. There's some wisdom, there's some karma that you have to deal with in regards of properties, real estate, comforts, vehicles, or something of that sort. Now you have to re-deal with it. And even it talks about dealing with your childhood traumas, dealing with your inner traumas. This is the time you communicate that, but clear and direct and clear, not vaguely, not not trying to put that out as a reaction, but rather to make it work, to work it around and then communicate it in a healthy way. This Jupiter is the lord of your first and your 10th house coming into your fourth house. That means a lot of hard work, a lot of action is required in regards of your heart space, in regards of your home, your properties. And even it could call for a little bit of time when maybe you will work from home. All right, but changes in your location, changes within your home dynamics are going to be there till March. And then forward to March till June, there are going to be some progressive changes, some moving changes in regards of the fourth house matters. Okay, but definitely the attention with this Jupiter is required, where you get wisdom through your emotions and how your emotional state, or how do you your connections should be with others when it is about emotions. Now next we have the zodiac sign of Aries. For Aries individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the third house, so definitely can bring about repetition, repetitive or multiple travels, right? And then it can even cause actions, like you have to encounter, certain situations where your actions will be required again, where it will be very important for you to communicate. There will be responsibility towards younger siblings or siblings in general or neighbors. There is some significant kind of responsibility that I feel is going to be towards the family, and especially towards sibling or mother. Right, this Jupiter wants you to reassess, reanalyze your actions, the way you have projected your career, the way you have understood what was said to you, your beliefs, your wisdom, everything. This Jupiter wants you to redo certain things and redo and correct certain themes, certain patterns that have been happening within your life, right? Especially in regards of communication, or the way you have communicated in the past, that needs to be meant. And then this Jupiter can also bring about opportunity in the life of your younger sibling to get married, okay, or to have a new job. Even this Jupiter in your third house can bless you with a new job or a job change. Okay. Now, next we have the zodiac sign of Taurus. For Taurus individuals, Jupiter is going retrograde in the second house. Jupiter retrograde in the second house wants you to reanalyze your communication and your relationship with the family, your finances, and Jupiter is excellent. Sorry. Jupiter is an excellent manager. It's an excellent strategist. So this Jupiter retrograde in the second house will give you a opportunity to earn more money or to strategize in a certain way where you are going to bless yourself with a stable income. So till the time the retrogression exists, like till the 11th of March, it will go more back and forth. And after that, we can expect some growing finances, growing joint assets, right? So before that, it's calculations, it's about division, right? Second house Jupiter retrograde can bring about division in assets, division in money, or maybe inheritance. But it also calls for be strategizing your assets and finances in a certain way which can yield you more profit and more gains. But this Jupiter at the same time will give you some responsibilities regarding your family, regarding even your family might require the financial help. You might have to redo something in regards of family, in regards of finances. Okay. So, guys, this was my analysis about Jupiter moving back into the zodiac sign of Gemini while it is retrograde. So, I hope this helps and gives you good insights into this topic. Okay. We'll meet you next time. But till then, bye bye. Take care.